Hi, this is Sean, and in this lesson we're going to talk extensions. Not what they are and how to form them, in fact quite the opposite. We'll get a taste of why I learned from Barry Harris to just delete everything past 7 on a lead sheet anyway. Does that mean we don't play interesting notes? No, not at all. We just have different ways to conceptualize them that give us far more freedom. To illustrate the point, we'll take a look at a standard lead sheet full of extensions and see things like, do the extensions that are written there actually support the melody? Are they necessary for the melody? Could I remove them and go in my own direction? Are there any that are actually wrong? How do we know that, and what do we do about it as well? The key takeaway from this is that I don't use extensions on a lead sheet to build up an arrangement. In fact, I don't use a lead sheet as an arrangement. It's a blueprint to allow me to do what I want. And if you want to learn to have that freedom to do what you want, then come and see us on Jazz Skills. Meanwhile, please do leave us a like and a subscribe and a positive comment if you have one. It really helps to grow on here and do more of this for you. Without further ado, let's get into the lesson. Okay, let's look at the issue of extensions and what to do with all this stuff. When I observe them, when I don't. I don't have hard and fast rules, but at least give you a sort of insight into the thought process. So here's Alice in Wonderland, Jazz Waltz in 3/4. And look at this chart. This is an anti-Sean chart, really. It doesn't mean I never play anything that you might consider a 13th or a dominant 7th with a sharp 5 and a sharp 9. But that's not how, in fact, Barry discouraged me from thinking that way. That's how I used to think. And interestingly, he said, no, we weren't doing that. That's definitely not what I was doing. And I thought, oh, if this is the guy that played or sat in with Charlie Parker a few times, played with Lester Young and Coleman Hawkins and Dexter Gordon and anyone you can think of worth naming, that's not what he's doing, and I like the way he plays, then maybe I should learn what he's doing, right? So let's see where all these extensions would and would not make sense for me. Now that's interesting. So we start immediately with a D minor 9, right? Now D minor 9 has an E on it. We're not in the key of D minor, we're in the key of C major, by the way. Okay, and the melody is a G. So some people may have written D minor 11, right? Okay, I can live with that. I would have been fine with a D minor 7, because I would have probably done something like this anyway for a different reason. Now, G13, most people mean either something like this by that, or they might mean this, but it's going to have an E in it, right? And I can't see why I would need to do that when I've got a G in the melody going to an F, which isn't going to go with that 13. So I'd rather not do that. I'd rather somebody just wrote D minor G7 to C major, 2-5-1, because I've got other things to do there. So for example, I may use the whole tone scale. And in the whole tone scale, we get these triads. I've got a whole video on it on YouTube, and I've got members content on this as well. You get all these triads, right? So I may well go something like, right, so if I observed it must be G13, it's going to cut me off from other possibilities. And to be honest, it's not really giving me what I need anyway. Okay, C major 9. Okay, fine. That's how we voice our C majors anyway. We tend to move our 1 up to 2. Okay, fine. Okay, on the F major as well. B minor flat 5. Now, anything less than 7, fine, because it's a minor 7 flat 5. Now, this is interesting. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe Evans even did that. E7 with a sharp 5, sharp 9. However, can somebody tell me, does it need to be that on that E7 bar? What is the 9 of E7? The natural 9 will be F sharp. The sharp 9 will be G. So does it need to be that? No, Art, thank you. It doesn't need to be that. Not at all, exactly. So it can be. It's not ugly. It's possible that Evans did it, but I would prefer to just have it open because I've got so many things I could do there, right? Could just be E7 with our diminished voicing, which we play like this. We take E7 and we move the 1 up a half step. Could be that. Fine. Let's see what's next. A minor 9. Okay, so A minor 9. Let's see. A minor 7. Now clear A minor 7. Move the 1 up a whole step to 2 and you get your A minor 9, right? I don't know if Bill Evans did that or not in the famous recording, but there's no need for it per se, right? Doesn't have to be there. Let me just move this so you can see it a bit better. Because, look, you've got E in the melody, and then you go to a C. Now, although that C is really near the B of the 9, if people don't know and they... or... it's okay. I could get away with it if I held the other notes and just played that C, but personally I would probably leave it. Okay, we got E flat 9 again. Okay. What's the melody? G, right? It's got nothing to do with a 9, but okay. I can see a reason for it that goes beyond the scope of today. Have a Barry Harris move there. So that G7 that they've made a 13, does this one make sense for it to be a 13? Paul, do I think they're trying to suggest rootless voicings? Maybe. Yeah, this one makes more sense because we at least have the 13 in the melody, right? Art, why don't they put the upper extensions on chords when the melody note is that upper extension? Well, exactly, Art. You know, I feel it's not necessary and I prefer to have lead sheets without, but I do feel that if people are going to do it, then cover that exact situation that you're talking about. So yes, Ned, it is the 13th. So, okay, this one makes sense. But it does move as well, right? So what about that note? Do you see what I mean? So it's going to move for me to a different voicing by then. So this for me is a brother, by the way, more advanced people. This is an E triad over G7. They're related because they both come from this same diminished family. F diminished. You move any note down, move the F down, you get E7. Move the A flat down, you get G7. This is level 3s. Move the B down, you get B flat 7. D down, you get D flat 7. So G7 was one of those. And E7, so even just the triad of that. Fine. And then back to the diminished chord that they came from. I know that's level 3 stuff. Sorry, level 1s and level 2s. And let's see where we go next. Same sort of stuff happening on that D minor 9 as it did at the beginning. Now, look at this. On this one, we've got an E in the melody, and we said we need a 13. On this one, we've got an E in the melody, and now we've got an 11, right? So, yeah, I would prefer just personally to see G7s and figure out how music really works and how piano playing works and where to apply certain voicings. Yep, let's see. And can anyone see a mistake, interestingly, somewhere on this line? Something that for me is wrong, not open to interpretation. I'll leave that open for a minute. Let's see what people say. Well done, John. You got there first. C major 7th. Yep. Jose got it as well. Excellent. Exactly. Oh, George got it. Ned got it. A lot of you got that. Excellent. Should be a 6, right? Should be C major 6 because we have the C in the melody. So after all those elaborate extensions, look here, you've got the alternative of an A7 with a sharp 5 and a sharp 9. But you won't even tell me that I should play a C6 when there's a C in the melody, right? Who was it who used to say this? I can't remember if it was Barry who used to say, you need to be better than the book. I've heard Bill Evans even say that as well, that, you know, you can't rely just on the book to tell you everything you need to know. You need to learn the language to understand these little nuances and stuff, right? Okay, I won't go any further with that one. I think you get the picture.